So, after speaking to my therapist, I have decided that writing a diary could actually be quite helpful after all. I am better with typing, so I guess I'll type instead. Either way, keeping a record of everything that's supposed to get things out of there, I hadn't known that they were there. I never really liked the idea of therapy, but Dan persuaded me to go and, well, put this into his mind at rest. I agreed. I have been going for a while. Can't say it's done much good, but whatever. So, let's see. After the accident, I had trouble remembering things. I was apparently found in my house, and just before that, claiming that I couldn't leave or some crap. But it's not a memory, it's just what I was told. So that's it. All I have to work with, and that all messed up in my dreams. Mostly about cars, which probably not usual for people who have been in car accidents, so yeah, great. Anyway, it's getting late, so I'll write again tomorrow. April 17th. Yeah, so I didn't write yesterday, but then nothing really came up, and well, yeah, I won't be writing every day. It's been raining all day today. I didn't go to work this afternoon, as the office got flooded. Turns out that they should have fixed that roof years ago. Dan's been quite an attentive boyfriend today, though bringing me coffee, bringing me a tuna sandwich for lunch, man, I could get used to this. April 18th. I went to the park with Dan today just for a walk. The rain stopped, but the office needs to be cleaned up, so no work again today. I had thought of Peter as I was a young boy back about, and with I assumed that I've been his father. It reminded me of when we were young. Peter was always protective of her older brother. I remember the one time we were playing in the back garden. I kicked the ball too hard and it went straight for the neighbor's window. A neighbor, as you can imagine, was not happy, but Peter took the blame and will always feel bad about it. I think Dan has been worrying about me. I overheard him talking on the phone. He was saying that it seemed quiet and subdued. I'll try harder to get back to normal. I really hate him worrying. April 20th. Just learned today that our landlord wants to put the house up on the market. Great. Looks like, well, we're truly screwed. April 26th. Just spent the next few days trying to find a decent place with around our price age. Luckily, Dan's just recently been promoted. Every little bit helps, I guess. We have found a couple of places that seem alright, which is a start. How are we gonna get somewhere at the much short notice, though? Hell if I know. All I can also saw my therapist today. Apparently I've been making some good progress, whatever that means. I can't say any significant changes. As for this medication, it's doing nothing for me whatsoever. I haven't really spoken about it with Dan, but I'm pretty sure that he'll agree with me on this one. I think I might ditch it. April 27th. Okay, so today we have viewed this perfect house with 2 bedrooms and a 1-en-suite bathroom, a nice kitchen, and a good-sized garden. It was amazing, in our price range, and available by Sunday at the earliest. Dan and I both agree exactly what we were looking for, so hopefully everything should be moved swiftly from here. I may not be doing a little pessimistic here, but it all seems too convenient. I don't know. I guess we'll see. May 2nd. Well, this is officially the last night we'll spend in the house. I am going to kind of miss it, but at least we're moving somewhere we actually want to go. It's fallen nicely into place. Tomorrow morning we'll meet our new landlady at the house and we'll be given our keys. Eek! Anyways, I should get some sleep now. I'll probably write again tomorrow. May 3rd. Today went smoothly. I'm happy to say our new landlady seems nice. She even bought us some fruit and welcome gesture. Weird. People aren't usually that nice. It feels comfortable here though. I think I'm really gonna like it. Dan's been really excited about it and finally having some guy space with the extra bedroom. It's only a box bedroom, but whatever it makes him happy. I personally like the kitchen. It's light and airy, which is good. Dark rooms always tend to depress me. Oh, we've also been visited by our neighbor's cat a few times a day. He's kind of cute, I will have to admit. Missing half an ear, though. Poor thing. I wonder what happened to him. May 4th. Day 2 in that house. We made good progress with unpacking. Except Dan found his old remote-controlled car from when he was like 10 and determined to get it working again. I've got to admit their presence is still admirable. It's amazing what you find when you move. A lot of stuff still in boxes from when we moved to the old place. Anyway, I suggested a quiet night to watching a film or something, so we're ordering pizza. So it seems like there's a lot of cats in the neighborhood. We've been visited by several, and I've seen at least 7 or 8 around. Someone likes their cats. May 6th. You know it's weird. I mean, not. Kind of a problem. Okay. So it made no sense. Basically, in horror films, for instance, it's always a new house where weird things start to happen, and the new owners get all creeped out. But nothing strange is happening here. It's kind of weird, because I feel like it should be. I don't know. Maybe just quieter than what I'm used to. I'll get used to it, I'm sure. I just read through that again, and I'm not making much sense. Need sleep. May 8th. Mr. Cadora visited today, a neighbor from across the street. He wanted to welcome us to the neighborhood. I thought he was nice. He seemed friendly, and I think maybe the cat we keep seeing belongs to him. Probably many of the others too. He seemed to be covering cat fur. Made me think of Peter. He absolutely loved cats. May 9th. I saw Mr. Cadora picking up his car up with old junk and stuff. I imagine he was getting rid of it. Should have asked if he mind dumping some stuff for us. There was this old rug in the living room that absolutely needs to go. It reminds me of something. I don't even know how old it is, but it reeks of decay. I need something fresh and modern. May 11th. Today I've been thinking about Peter a lot. I really wish we were there. Life was a lot livelier when he was around. This house makes me think of him for some reason. I think I like it. May 16th. Finally back at work. They had to temporarily fix the roof, and they're all praying that it will hold out. None of us could afford to be out of work at the moment. This damn rain is persistent. Dan's been in a bad mood in the evening. I asked him what was up, but he wouldn't talk to me. Something to do with work, I imagine. I never pry unless it's necessary. I was. That's weird. I thought I just heard something. It was like weird scrapping, like, May 17th. I washed a car today with Dan's help. It was actually quite fun. We always try and spend the weekends together if we are even just watching TV. Cuddled up on a sofa or carrying out a mundane, but everyday tasks if we do them together. It can be actually quite fun. Mr. Cadora waved to us this afternoon. After we had finished hosing down the car, he was hauling a fish tank into his house. Kind of odd, now that I think about it. Oh well. That's weird. I keep writing about him. He reminds me of Peter somehow. I haven't met any other neighbors, though. We've seen a few of them. No sign of anyone next door, though. I didn't think the house was empty. May 20th. I was done in the house all day, and I just can't help but feel that something's off. But it's not. Everything is perfectly normal, and there's nothing strange or spooky happening. Literally nothing. And is that the problem? Why is it so normal? I know I should just calm down and everything will be alright. I can hear what Peter would say now. Take a breath, stand back, and accept the things how they are. That's what he would say. May 24th. We finally got rid of that rug. Thank God. It was literally like something from my grandmother's attic. I can't even say how sick of it I was. Luckily, our landlady, June, was absolutely fine with it. She apparently was of the same mind. She told me that the previous tenants had left in a hurry, and some of their belongings were subsequently left behind. The rug being one of the things salvageable. June wouldn't say why they had to leave in such a haste. She said she didn't know the details, but I think she knows something. Anyhow, I suppose it doesn't really matter. I realize how stupid this sounds, but I would say that they left because there's something off about this place. But the thing is, there isn't. Absolutely nothing strange has happened here. Everything has been completely normal, and that's what's been unnerving me. Something's off because it isn't. Ugh. I know this makes no sense, and not being rational. I tend to try to talk to Dan about it last night, but there's a thing when I mentioned and he looked frightened somehow, like he knew something. It was only for a split second. He shook it off and told me that everything was fine. I could tell that he had something to say about me, but he had held his tongue. He knows something. May 26. It's 4 in the morning, and there's no way I could get back to sleep. I woke up about 2 hours ago from my nightmare. My therapist told me the dreams can be productive if I allow them. She told me that hold the key to the answers I've been seeking for ever since that godforsaken accident. She told me to keep a diary of my dreams as well as a general diary. Apparently, it can help my mind clarify things. So far, I feel like I've been counterproductive, but I'll keep trying. The dream. At first, I was driving down in a town I never thought I've been before. I was with my old friend of mine. We were going swimming at the lake. Everything was normal at first, but when we got to the water, it started to freeze and over really rapidly. I was trying to get out of the water, but I couldn't swim fast enough. The ice surrounding me somehow pulled me underwater. I thought I would drown, but I would somehow still breathe. I started to swim around, keep searching for my friend. The surface had iced over, but it was more like glass. I looked up at the sky and it really turned red. Suddenly I saw an old car at the bottom of the lake. This alone for some reason outright terrified me to the very core, but I found myself swimming towards it anyway. I could feel the fear rising inside me as I peered through the boot of the car and could just make something out. The water was getting murkier and murkier, but I could still see that it was a rolled up rug. For some reason, it went into unfathomable panic. I just wanted to get away from that car, but as I tried swimming away, I felt something grab into my ankle and pulled me back. When I woke up, this was stupid. I mean, it doesn't exactly sound that horrifying. I mean, now I looked at the rug, we had to just got rid of it. Why am I dreaming about that? So stupid but terrifying. I'm too afraid to go back to sleep now, so I think I'll just go and watch some TV until Dan wakes up. May 27th. So unbelievably cute. Today Dan came out of work, and with the little black kitten, she's so adorable. We're still trying to decide on what to name her. Our little family is already growing. May 28th. I saw Mr. Cadora today, and I know this probably sounds ridiculous, but I think there's something really odd about him. I don't know. I've been watching him and, well, it's none of my business. May 29th. Been alone in the house all day as it's my day off. Dan's been at work. Ordinarily, this would be the ideal time for me to enjoy keeping the house to myself and get some work done. But there is a thing. I'm still feeling terrified. It's not rational, and there's no good reason for it. I just don't get it. The house is completely normal, and I am completely fine, but everything feels wrong. I keep thinking it would be rather better if I slammed the door by itself or something leapt off of the worktop. It would actually make less unnerved knowing that I'm not imagining this, but nothing is happening. It's like there's something here, and it's toying with me, and I'm freaking out because I constantly feel like I'm being watched, and I think this has something to do with that bastard, that Mr. Cadora. He is not normal, and I've been watching him for days, just waiting for some evidence, some proof that he's up to something bad. I read what I'm writing, and now it's ridiculous as it sounds. I'm freaking out. I need to calm down. It's almost like I saw that. Shit. June 2nd. Sometimes I even wonder if I try. June 4th. Mia, that's what I'm going to call her. She's watching me type this now. June 5th. Today Dan and I sat down, and apparently he thinks I'm showing signs of paranoia again. What the hell is that even supposed to mean? I have no clue. He wants me to get to see a doctor, to see if they could review my meds. But it's pissing me off. I don't even know why I told him about what's going on in the first place. He said to me very calmly and very derogatively that there was something strange about the house. I know that though. There's absolutely freaking nothing wrong with the house. That is my problem. So I have lied and told him that I had seen someone in the house. It's not a crazy lie, because I really want to have this force or whatever that is toying with me to stop. I'm not that crazy. Anyway, it didn't make things better. I'm just so pissed right now. I need to get out of the house. June 6th. I feel better today. I feel like an idiot for flying off the handle like that yesterday. I apologized to Dan, and he seemed that he's calmer mood too. Still feel the same about the house. I don't know, but maybe I'll get used to it. Anyway, I spoke to Mr. Cadora again, and he was asking about our windows and whether or not we noticed any drafts. He apparently had a lot of trouble with his bathroom window and had to seal it with duct tape. As the houses were built at the same time, the windows were the same, so he thought he'd ask. For some odd reason, this unsettled me, and when I told him that we hadn't and had to get in a conversation, he asked me on how we were settling in, and that we were talking about cats for a bit. He apparently said he had 4. The others I've been seeing must have been coming from somewhere else. I also told him about Mia. He seemed a little bit envious, maybe not. Don't get me wrong, the guy seems to have good intentions, but I don't know. He seems odd to me. I guess it's possible he could be suffering from some sort of mental condition, but that doesn't seem quite right either. He appears to be completely average, 30-something-year-old. Either way, I guess I should be focused on my life now. June 7th. Today Dan approached me and asked me of somewhat elaborated experience I blurted through a few days ago. He kept it usual, but I could tell that he was getting at it. He eventually got around to asking me if I was still taking the medication like I've been prescribed. Without any hesitation, I assured him that I was. He didn't say anything more about it, but I could tell that he thinks that the experiences are connected to it. I mean, none of it makes any sense. June 9th. The medication is stable. Don't need a doctor to tell me that. June 10th. I saw it. It had moved. I swear to God, I saw it on the walls. It's Ron, I know what I saw on the wall. I saw him move. I saw it. I know it's all Ron when I felt it was. I know it. Damn it. June 12th. I woke up this morning with a splitting headache. I think I had another bad dream, but I couldn't remember it. Maybe it's a good thing though. I don't know. Mia is watching intently me. Cats. June 13th. Oh God, Dan believes in me. He saw something too. I think I made him see it somehow. I didn't see it, but I did. June 14th. It's him. It's that frickin' person. I just know it. He's been in my house and oh God, it's him. Mr. Cadora. I just knew there was something off about him. He's been in this frickin' house. I could smell him. And now there's cat fur everywhere upstairs. I'll spend the rest of the day cleaning it up. I don't want Dan to know about this. Mia's disappeared. June 15th. There was a foul smell in the bathroom. Dan's going to be calling a plumber tomorrow. June 16th. Dan's worried about Mia. I am too. I don't know. How do I tell him? Update. I fell asleep in this evening and I've just woken up from a god-awful dream about Mr. Cadora. I went to his house and everywhere I looked were dead cats. They were hanging from the ceiling, bound with duct tape. I freaked out when I went for the front door. Mr. Cadora, he grabbed me from behind and pulled me back. I fell into all the duct tape, and before I knew it, I was bound too. This is when I woke up. I'm not stupid. I know this was a dream, but shit, maybe I'll try and talk to Dan about it before going to bed. June 17th. I went back to work today. Dan called me during lunch to ask how I was doing. I seemed stressed this morning. He seemed upset. Apparently, the plumber sorted the drains, and there was a clump of cat fur down there. My heart sank. I think it was Mr. Cadora. He'd done this. June 18th. Today hasn't been good. I completely lost it when I saw that arsehole, Mr. Cadora. He was holding back a blinder, and I hate to think what he had done in there. Dan had tried to calm me down, but I was too angry. He killed my frickin' cat. After apologizing to that nasty piece of shit, Dan pulled me aside, and he asked me what the hell I was thinking. But he doesn't get it. I tried to explain, but Dan's not convinced. I'll try and prove it. June 23rd. I saw the window of the dream, and it's not broken. He's a frickin' liar. I told Dan it was. He's been in the house again. And oh God. June 24th. He's been inside Cena 2 finally. Dan told me that if anything else happens, he'll call the police. Someone's been moving our stuff at night. Someone's been trying to drive me down insane. And how will I ever prove my insanity? June 25th. I came home from work last night, and Dan was having a full-blown argument with Mr. Cadora. Apparently his name is Leon. He had told me that arsehole wouldn't leave us alone, and to stop coming to our house at night. He of course denied ever doing such a thing, but Dan didn't believe him, thank God. This definitely is a strange way of putting it, but I feel kind of happy. Like I have finally been able to get him to believe I'm just not alone now. June 26th. I'm not alone. June 27th. I woke up this morning aching all over. I don't know what's wrong with me. I close my eyes and all I see is pain. I realized that it didn't make sense, but the only way I could describe it. Dan's immensely worried about me. He had me resting in bed all day and hasn't said anything, but I could tell he was edgy. He knows we're not alone in this house. This is going to sound a bit weird, but of course, I'm glad. We had finally understood each other. All my hard work has paid off. Thank God I'm not alone in this. June 28th. There's a god-awful smell in the house. I don't even know if it's real or it's just me. I tried to talk to him and Dan about it, but he just told me he couldn't smell anything. He's so uptight. Now I'm kind of worried about him. Every time I enter the room, he recoils as if he's hiding something. No, like he's afraid of me. Or something like he'll find out what he's doing. I don't know. June 29th. Dan took me to the doctor today. I woke up this morning with bruises all over my body. I know that Dan knows what's been going on here, and I think he's afraid to admit it. It's like he's desperately clinging onto some sanity, like it's going to snap at any moment. I can see it when we can. July 2nd. I got the water out and I lost it. With one of that got back before when I frickin' fell. That car I could feel underneath my legs, broken beneath it. I know who did it. Peter. July 3rd. God, that awful smell Dan called June, the landlady. He could smell it too. No one knows what the hell to make of it. At least, I know it's not just me not losing my mind. Dan asked June if there had been anything strange reported in the house before I moved. This is when I remembered what she said about the previous tenants. She of course denied it, but I don't believe her. She's hiding something, perhaps more sinister than I thought. Her and that Mr. Cadorel. And of course, we've been literally turned this place upside down, searching for the source of that rancid smell, only to find nothing. It was July 6th, and Dan's been hiding somewhere in the house again. He's very secretive about it. I don't know if he's lying to protect me or if he's just can't admit it to himself. I haven't seen Mr. Cadora in days. I don't even know if he's still around or if he fled. That person knew he was in trouble, and the day Dan confronted him. I saw Dan go over to his house before leaving the work the other day. He didn't answer. I think I convinced Dan to get it over with until tomorrow morning to check it out. If he's not there again, we'll know he's up to something. Only guilty man runs out of the scene of crime, so to speak. July 7th. Dan agreed to cross the street with me. We knocked on there, but there was no answer. Dan looked for the windows and was confirmed by my suspicions. His house looked like as if he just up and left. This freaked Dan out. I later discovered that he saw someone in the house just last night and assumed it to be Mr. Cadora. I don't know what to think and how. July 9th. Dan, what the hell? We're meant to be in this together. July 10th. I'm worried. Dan's acting really differently. He's hiding something, and I don't know that. I should be happy now, but I'm not alone in this. But July 13th. I remember when that mummy took us to the beach and we built sandcastles. Peter made the biggest one and got jealous. When I wasn't looking, I smooshed it. And Peter cried to Mummy. I wasn't sorry, but Daddy said I was. I didn't fall. It was the winter and July 15th. This house is so oppressive. I feel like the walls will close in on us. Dan's not even talking to me. He's acting like he's being stalked by something. Apparently doesn't exist. I've seen it now too. Big, black, ugly creature. Not a human figure Dan describes, but it guards the door, and we won't leave the house, I promise. July 16th. I'm not alone. 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 July 18th. Dan's been so quiet. I wish he'd talk to me. July 22nd. I had a bad dream. I don't know if I should write it. It's scaring me. I think I should. The dream. I was waiting for Dan in the car. He had just popped into the shop to buy something. I can't remember what. I watched people doing with their business. There were carpet shops across the road, and I watched with the man with the red shirt. And when I noticed that he had no face, I looked around for other people and noticed that they had no faces as well. Suddenly I felt really panicked and tugged at my seatbelt in an attempt to get out. I just wanted to find Dan. The seatbelt won't budge, however. This is when then I heard something I haven't heard in years. It was Peter's voice. He said one simple word that stopped my tracks. Please, I turned to him, not understanding what he meant. Only too he had no face. I screamed and cried and woke myself from doing so. I felt so disturbed. Why the hell am I having these nightmares after all these years? I feel so defeated. My brother died 8 years ago. I wasn't. I didn't even. July 25th. The creature was larger and I couldn't escape him. Dan still won't talk to me. Not even a word. I'm worried. He won't get out of bed and hasn't been to work in days. I can't get him to eat or drink. He's completely catatonic. July 26th. I can't be alone in this. July 28th. The police have been knocking on the door, but I can't answer it. I'm too afraid he'll get me. July 29th. The police got in yesterday, kept it together. There was no way they believed that we were being stalked in our own home by some inhuman creature. They had received some calls and neighbors who reported that Mr. Cadora had been missing from home for weeks and that Dan hasn't been seen either. I tried to keep calm and give me this idea, this weird look, like they knew something. That I didn't. They told me to stay there in the lounge while they checked the house. They did check and wanted to talk to Dan, but I don't think they'll even get him to talk. I've been trying. I hope they can get us out of this house, and I hope. August 4th. It can't be. It just can't. I don't believe what they say. Mom's here, she says. This happened before? I can't understand. They say Dan's dead. They said he's dead. But I just don't understand. I can't. It doesn't make any sense. August 5th. They say that it's not my fault, and they treated me like I'm a child. Mom said it was the meds. She doesn't understand. None of them all do. I fixed the lock like the old one, but it broke. We lost him. All of us alone. August 6th. The police had told my mom that Mr. Cadora's body was recovered in the house. I don't get it. They're saying I killed him? My mom said that it happened before. Why is no one talking to me? They keep me in this room, and I have no clue what's going on. Like I'm a child and I'm incapable. August 12th. I understand now. Reading through my diary confirms my greatest fears. They were right. I killed them. I didn't want to be alone, but there's a thing. I'll always have to be alone. Every step I took, I was alone. I have a condition. The accident that wiped my memory, and I was for sure I wasn't a killer. I was just a girl. Things were coming back to me, and it's late. I don't want to write about them again. August 13th. I'm a monster. After all, I was the monster. I killed them. August 16th. I had a dream last night. Except it wasn't a dream. My mom's been there, and for me, she only makes me more ashamed of myself. She loved me despite all I've done. I can't even do that. It wasn't even a dream. It wasn't even a dream. It was a memory that I buried so deep I lost it. It lost me, God. I'm not even know who I thought it was. On the midst winter, I have been having strange episodes. Peter only wanted to help, but he got too close. One night I snapped, and when my mom and dad weren't home, I took Peter for a drive. We were having fun, and then something happened. I felt confused, lost, afraid. The last thing I remember from that night was running the foot up the beach. I was lost. Mom got in the police car out to find out both me and Peter. I was frozen, but Peter, they recovered his body from the car, and he was wrapped in a rug. There was a lot of blood, and no one even quite was sure about what happened. It was my car I'd been driving with Peter. I'll never remember the details of what happened to Peter, but I know that I'm responsible. Mom never wanted to believe it. I was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder and some other anxiety disorder, which caused me huge paranoia. None of this makes any sense to me. It's like a dream within a dream. I felt that it's so real, but you know it can't be happening to you, Mom says, and that I should rest, and that is my illness and not me. It is me. Whenever I recommend the details or not, I will always that I'm responsible for the death for more than one human being. I don't know if I can live this way. August 17th. My mom's with me still, and I still comforted. The medication's finally updated for me to calm, as well as someone in my position I'm scared. But maybe I'll help and get through this. Maybe support. I will even have to rebuild my life. August 18th. I can't sleep again. I think that maybe if I could just get it on my head around and everything that's happened. But there's one minor detail that will not let me rest. You see, my mom's been here with me, holding my hand all the way. But the thing is, though, she died shortly after Peter. She killed herself. Maybe I can leave the house tomorrow. Wow, this is honestly a pretty damn well good story. Now, that was Anne's diary. Now, pause actually recommend I read this story because I think he posted it in one of my chats on my Discord server and said to check it out. I only saw one narration of it though, so I could definitely say, I actually thought it was a pretty good story. So it's honestly a really well made story. It's a pretty good one of someone keeping a diary in their journal, explaining what's happening. The fact of this person's going through, some sort of mental illness they have, but they don't know until it's revealed much later. It's a pretty good concept. I really thought this was a pretty neat story. So I definitely got to say, I love the storyline. I like the concept. I like everything about this story. It's a pretty good concept. I really enjoyed this story. I actually thought it was nice. I thought it was a lot longer, but, it only took me about 30 minutes to read. Well, just over 30 minutes, but still. It's pretty amazing, and it's a well-made creepypasta. Now, I could definitely say it's pretty amazing of how well this is, despite it being short. But I still find it to be, pretty damn well good and a pretty good story. Now, the grammar is good. I'm definitely not gonna lie. I did spot a few grammatical errors, but despite that, I still found it to be good. Now, I can't exactly remember when this story was, I can't exactly remember when this story was, written. I think this might have been an older story, because I'm surprised I didn't see anyone write this story. And that's very surprising. I was expecting to see a couple narrators read it, but still. This honestly looks like it might have been like a decent story or something. But yeah, wow, this story might have came out in 2014 or something, or 2013. But it's a pretty damn good story. It's still a pretty good story for what this is. And it's really well done. Now, I can't seem to find out who the original author of this story is, so I am going to leave this as anonymous for now. So to the author of the story, if they have a YouTube channel or something and they happen to come across this video, they can let me know that they're the ones that wrote the story. Because if I do find out who the original author is, I'll be sure to give the author proper credit. Definitely gotta say, it's a good story. I recommend you take a look at this if you haven't. I know this review is not really, long, but I definitely gotta say it's a well-made creepypasta. I honestly do hope some of you guys who are narrators read this story in the future. It's pretty good, so I definitely gotta say that. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this is just simply my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with me, that's perfectly fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these creepypastas, and this is simply my own personal thoughts. I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10. I really love this story. It's beautiful, well made. I definitely had fun reading this story, so I want to give a shout out to Paws the Arabian Mal for suggesting this read. Thank you so much for, recommending this story. This was fantastic. And to the author who made this story, awesome job. So with that being said and that being the case, what did you guys personally think of this creepypasta? Did you all enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this story a lot better. Feel free to leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. If you're new to my channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys won't miss an upload. And as always, please roll the outro because I'm out.